Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday's Reading the Red, this Good Friday, the Friday when we remember Jesus walking to Calvary. We're looking at Matthew today, Matthew chapter 9, verse 15. And John the Baptist's disciples come to Jesus and they got a question for him. And in verse 15, he responds to that question. And Jesus said to them, "The attendants of the bridegroom cannot mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them, can they? But the days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast." So John's disciples had asked, "Why are your disciples not fasting?" And Jesus says, at this present time, while the bridegroom, and he is the bridegroom, while the bridegroom is with them, they cannot fast. They cannot go into a place of mourning. There's a job to do. But one day the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and on that day they will fast. So he's not saying that Christians don't fast. He's saying that Christians are not going to fast, disciples are not going to fast before the bridegroom leaves. Now the bridegroom on this day, this special day, this Good Friday as we remember it, has left. He left and he went to a cross. And Jesus then, having gone to the cross and rose again, and we're going to be celebrating that reality in a couple of days, he's expecting his disciples to step into that ministry of intercession, of crying out to God, and using this incredible representation of fasting to do it. So fasting is an act of worship. It's an act of prayer. It's an act of sanctifying and purifying and clarifying who we are in order to be able to perceive and hear and draw near to God in a way that's different from other ways that we can draw near to God. So the disciples, John's disciples, they don't understand why Jesus' disciples are not fasting. And sometimes in life, we come up against situations where we find ourselves looking at someone else and saying, why don't they do it this way? Why don't they do it that way? Why aren't they doing what we do? We do it, so why don't they do it? And all of those feelings and all of those factors that relate to wanting people to do what we want them to do because we think what we are doing is best is a strange phenomena in us, whether we're Christians or not. The reality is that trusting and choosing is a gift given by God in order for each one of us to be able to exercise. And as soon as you try to make someone do something that they don't want to do, sometimes even intimidate them, you step into the reality of controlling them. And as soon as you control someone and they lose the ability to be able to choose, they have stepped in to a very negative place. And even if they do what you want them to do, they're not doing it because they trust you. And in a strange kind of way, trust is the key to the reality of being a human being, the reality of being in a relationship with God, and the reality of being in a relationship with one another. God bless you this special day in Jesus' precious name. Hallelujah.